All right, good evening, good afternoon, good late morning to people on the West Coast. We have a international show today.
Valyo, what time is it there?
9 p.m.
9 p.m. in Bulgaria.
in Bulgaria,
In
yes.
Bulgaria. All right, that's awesome. Thanks for
Yeah,
joining
how
us. Hope it's not too late for you.
No, it's
It's
not. But
prime
it was,
time.
yeah.
how was Christmas at your house?
Oh, it was awesome. We were together, our family only. We didn't have any guests, so it was really a family celebration. It
Yep,
was great.
that's what ours was too.
Yeah, it was interesting at my house. Missy
Yeah?
came over in the morning and like I put a picture of what she got. God, I got a lot from her. So and then uh it was the family thing, my sisters and two of my nephews, because they're like my mom watches them, so they're like in the household. It's not like they're bringing something new to us. Um, and then it was just my mom and dad, and we opened, and my mom got me a bunch of Nightmare Before Christmas stuff.
That's cool. I saw you got a signed autographed picture too.
Yes, I'll show it. Le- and it's real because I got the certificate of authenticity.
Wow.
That was from Missy. She framed it. She bought it and framed it. I said, Missy, please, dear God, tell me you didn't go on Etsy. Because on Etsy, his autograph goes for $600. And I said, tell me you did not spend $600. I do not need an autograph that bad. She said, Amy, it didn't cost $600, but it cost more than I wanted to spend.
Well, you got it.
So, how's Christmas at your place, John?
Oh, it was good. I mean, we got the kids a bunch of toys, so we were busy for the next 2 days afterwards, opening, putting together, doing,
Did
punching
they
bags and painting and
did
coloring and wall decals, Nerf guns, rocket launchers, dance pads.
Did you sleep Christmas Eve or did they keep you up?
Oh no, they go to bed. They went to bed, and we stayed up.
Uh, okay, did your daughter stall? Because like sometimes on Monday night
Oh
when we're
yeah,
having
she
a
wanted to
show.
catch him. She was bound and determined that she was gonna catch him coming down the chimney. No, you're not. She didn't get up. She didn't get up. She was all talk.
Yeah, yeah. It cracks me up because sometimes you'll be running late to the show because she's saying, "I want a glass of water. I
Oh
need
yeah.
this. I want
Oh yeah.
this."
She stalls regularly.
The
So
well, letters to Daniel news. I don't. I think because there's only, is this our second show or third show? No, third. Second show since I did the one with Stephanie Ray and I had COVID.
yeah, this is our second show since then.
Yeah. Uh, well, some so letters to Daniel. Our whole cast was awarded an award of recognition from Accolade Global Competition. The film got it, and it wasn't just for disability issues, it was on the merits of the film. So that was
That's
exciting.
awesome.
If they'd had a category for composer, I would have thrown them in there because we have now had actors win, editors win, uh, composer win, and I won for director. And then of course we had a couple of specialty awards, but it's been a good run. Um, it's on Parables TV now. I looked at like it was like the 27th, and I've been waiting forever for it to go on Parables. But I know Isaac has a lot. It's a network, so you turn basically for your film to go up, and so now I'm global on Parables. I'm global Real Women's Network, and Dell is looking into me Amazon yet.
Good. Good.
And yeah, and submissions are open for the Conquering Disabilities with Film International. Look forward to seeing your submissions. So far, it is planned to take place July 26th. I don't know what the exact dates of Conquering with Disabilities is within this time frame, but AOF MegaFest takes place July 26th through August 2nd.
Gotcha. Okay. And then people also need to go vote for something. The written.
Okay, so it's the okay, so I wrote okay. I got a message from Annabelle Monroe, the queen of AOF, because I was looking for advice about that one thing we were talking about before we started. It's at the Critters Workshop poll. So all you gotta do is type in Critters Workshop in your Google search or whatever your search engine is, and click on the vote page and for nonfiction books. And The Making of Letters to Daniel is currently in third place. That when I last checked, I would like to be in first, but you never know, because this is pretty much a popularity vote, and it's can you get out the vote for your book. And I just like it because it would help very much what I got to do with the next step. So also we are in pre-production on You're the Reason, but that might change because of what we discussed before the show started. And I can't talk about it yet because no decisions have been made one way or another.
But we'll have an exclusive story coming soon.
Yes. So, but if we go on into production with You're the Reason, Valyo is our composer again.
And so, speaking of Valyo, and I know we're going to get to his interview right after we watch the trailer of Letters to Daniel, you have a long relationship with Valyo. In fact, he was an award-winning composer on your movie Black Gold in 2016, the Standing Rock documentary.
Yes, and I remember when he sent me the intro to that, and I was just so flabbergasted because I never had any real kind of composer act on it, where they watch the movie and they fix the tone of it, and they say what they like, right? So it was just you heard what the score was because it broadcast on GNBC.
And it tied in with the movie.
Yeah.
It really brought it to life.
Yeah. That score really upped the PV. It really added that. It elevated that film in a way that if I hadn't had the score to go with it, I might not have gotten the nominations for Best Editing, which we won for, Best Female Filmmaker. What else? There was two other ones we were nominated for, and Best Documentary and Best Director Documentary. So I think that score, I owed a lot to that, in part to that score, and he was so kind because it was he sent me an email. He actually followed up from Indie Gathering where he had finished second place out of all the composers. And there was another composer there that I had approached because I thought I'll work with her because I don't think Valyo's going to want to work with me. But we're going to talk more about that during the interview.
All right, everyone. So let's watch the Letters to Daniel trailer, and we will come back, and Amy will interview Valyo. live on Recovery Unplugged.
Dear Daniel Craig, life did not always look like this. This marked a moment of triumph, a way of crushing an abysmal past and daring those with a stereotypical view of those with mental illness to challenge me on any front. To many, this was just a documentary. For me and Missy, this was our life.
It's like my skin is coming off. And my thoughts, they're racing so fast. I can't keep up.
I'm suffering too, you know. You're not the only one.
It's like my mind is coming apart and I can't get it to come together.
I think it's more than just that. Amy's been having a really hard time lately. She goes on these crying jags. She explodes without warning. She's so angry and so paranoid these days. She's not the happy Amy that I remember from Kentucky.
She thinks you're manic depressive. I, however, do not. I think this is something you've been obsessing on. I believe that it's all in your head.
Great week just come here. We're going to get you some help. It'll be okay. You do have a diagnosis. You have rapid cycling manic depression.
Dear Daniel Craig, bipolar disorder and those that saw it as contagious sought to pull me under, snap me in half, break me down. Even those well-intentioned do-gooders who see therapy and medication as bad and wrong, who see mentally ill individuals as hapless and hopeless, they're wrong. I found hope in your work. A comrade in Missy, my rock when no one else understood. You two are my twin lights when this disease threatened to take me down. And treatment was what got me through. Thank you, Daniel, for your talent and your work. Thank you for everything. Sincerely, Amy McCorkle.
Okay, today we have one of my favorite people on the show, award-winning composer and music teacher of movies such as Black Gold, Trail to Standing Rock, All in the Family, The Weeknd, Letters to Daniel, the motion picture, and the forthcoming You're the Reason. Valyo, what led you to get into the motion picture industry as a musician and composer to begin with?
Well, hello everyone, and Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
I've been a musician since I was 7 years old. I actually started then playing the violin.
Wow.
And later, when I was a teenager, I played in a chamber orchestra. It was a student chamber orchestra, and we went throughout the country, touring, playing things. But in 2014, something happened. I watched a documentary, and it was about a Bulgarian musician from a rock band. I was a fan of this band, and that's why I started actually watching this documentary. And he was talking how he went into the film music business and was talking about his project. And I just didn't know at all that something like this might happen. So it was like a light in my head. I said, why didn't I know anything about such project? And I started Googling it, researching, and very soon I found myself just studying harmony, orchestration, studio basing, and I, I had my day job at the same time, and I had my two children, and the only time actually for studying appeared to be at night. So I had this choice to complain about how complicated life was, or how unfair it was for people in Bulgaria like me, or to find my way of making, as they say, lemonade out of the lemons that I've been given. So for about, I think it was about 10 months, I started studying at 10:30 p.m. and went to bed about 3 a.m. And this was the time that I grew as a musician and composer. Actually, this was the start.
Okay. Uh, we met at the 2016 International Indie Gathering, where you finished second place in the composing competition, and I won a few awards. First, what was your impression of that festival? And second, what was your impression of me? Then I'll tell you what I thought of you.
Okay. Well, these were a lot of firsts in my life. So I was very nervous because it was my very first visit to the States.
Wow.
You know, I came from another continent, from another country. I didn't know much about the culture firsthand. I mean, I know from films, from books. I even had a professor at university who was American, but it's totally different when you just enter this culture. So it was sort of a shock for me. Plus, I'm sort of an introvert, so I had a little hard time kicking myself out of this hotel room and going down to the to where the festival was. But anyway, I went downstairs, went to Christina. She was behind the table,
Right.
and as far as I recall, Ray Such was
Yeah.
near. So he saw me when I introduced myself to Christina, and he started introducing me to people. And I think you were either the first one or one of the first. You were sitting at a table in the foyer, and he he introduced you as an award-winning director, and you when you talked, you really sounded determined, solid, and dignified. And I thought you had tens of film projects behind your back. And I was really happy, really. I was really happy when we exchanged business cards.
Yeah.
So this was my first impression.
Well, yeah, that was my third year there. And that year I won. It's not the most awards I've won there, because
There were a lot.
Yeah, there were 11. There were 11. So I went up a lot. So, but my impression of you was, you were just this quiet, and I was totally intimidated by your talent, because I thought anyone who could finish second place out of all the composers has to be good. And then, you gave me your card, and I had a cut, like I had some, like it was you and Erica something, and I listened, and hers was good. But when I listened to yours, I thought, geez, I'm not gonna be able to afford him to do what I want him to do. And but you messaged me after we returned home, like after we all went our respective ways to home when the festival was over. You sent me email saying you wanted to work with me on a project. And so that project was Black Gold.
Yeah.
And it did very well for us. I mean, you
Yeah,
won
really.
several music awards for
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
Uh,
I,
okay,
I didn't expect them at all, actually.
our first collaboration together was the Water Protectors versus the Government and Oil Industry documentary, Black Gold. Tell me, why did you say yes to scoring it? And what inspired you to write such a brilliant, beautiful, and award winning score?
Oh, well, actually, I didn't know very much about the topic because it didn't get good coverage in the news here,
They buried
or
it.
maybe worldwide. I don't know.
No, they didn't give it good coverage here either.
Okay, so it wasn't the topic itself that drew my attention, but rather the fact that um, mm, I it was it was you that I met at this festival. It was one of the things that drew my attention, and that it was going to be my first longer project
Oh, yeah,
because
feature.
yeah, the first feature because by that time. Immediately after the festival, Ray Sach contacted me, and it was the uh, intro and outro of the Horror Hotel that I scored the first project actually,
Mm-hmm.
and the second was the Johnny K. Woo's musical Inner Self.
Oh,
And but it was just a song, just one song from the musical, and
yeah.
just the introduction of Ray and Christina's series. So this was a feature, and it sounded like a leap forward, although a very challenging leap for me.
I mean, when I got that music, you know, everybody, like, even when the film wouldn't be selected, let's say the film lacked some production value, everybody always commented on the score. And
Oh,
at one festival, Dell loves your work, and he loved the documentary. But at another festival, the Ingenuity Film Festival, I submitted it, and a producer from PBS, the national, right? He
yeah.
said he felt like I shouldn't have tried to make it on such a small budget. To which I say, but but he said, but that amazing score.
Oh,
The
really?
judges said that amazing score. It just, I'm not surprised it got you these accolades.
Yeah.
Um, Kay, you are located, as we've said, in Bulgaria, and I encouraged you to enter AOF and Hollywood Dreams with the Black Gold score. What was AOF Megafest like? And pandemic and vaccine pending, do you think you'll be able to come represent the Letters to Daniel score at Megafest this coming July?
Well, yes. It was my second time
It's
actually.
okay if you can't. Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't know, but talking about AOF, uh, it was okay. The first year was in the gathering, and this was my second year going to Las Vegas and spending this week at the Palms in Las Vegas was really no extraordinarily fruitful and what other word should I say? Beneficial for me. And there are a lot of films, a lot of people behind the films. There are sessions, there are parties. So it was a rich, what's that called, a palette of events, of lessons, discussions, conversations, and at the end I knew a lot more people, and I had projects deals, which is one of the main goals when you attend a festival. So it was
Right.
really a big collection of events, marvelously organized, of course, by the wonderful Teresa and Del Weston. So if I should turn to your viewers, and if you are into script writing, filmmaking, film scoring, or anything connected with films, and you want to be, heard and seen and make a positive change in your career in the film industry, I definitely recommend attending the AOF Megafest because it's life changing.
Yeah, that's what I say every time.
Absolutely, yes. But about next year, I don't know if I'll be able to attend. But I actually believe that my life will change dramatically in the 2021, and I'll be able to come more often, and not only to festivals, not only to AOF, maybe to other festivals, talk to you, to directors in person, attend festivals or other events where
Yeah.
female filmmakers meet. So yeah, it depends on a number of things, but I hope
You
I
hope
can
so,
make it.
yeah. Well, yeah, that's yeah. Um, you are currently working with Del Weston, and I don't know what the other guy's name is, on Breaking and Entering. And
Yes.
what is working with Del Weston like?
Uh, well, by the way, the director is called Michael Hogan.
Michael Hogan, okay.
Michael Hogan, okay, and Del Weston is the producer or executive producer, I think, of the production.
Okay.
We're at the very beginning of this partnership. We exchanged several emails with Del and Michael. Yesterday, by the way, was our first official Zoom meeting.
Ooh.
So we met and we discussed some. It was about the aspects of music, because it's a very sad story about a girl and very personal at the same time. So the music should be very, very subtle. It's not an epic score or something like this. So I'm super excited because Dell is well known and well respected by thousands of filmmakers around the world, not only in the States. And being the producer of the film, I guess he will probably make sure it reaches the widest possible audience. And this is exciting, and it opens doors, but it also means greater responsibility, I guess. So I'll need to my job extraordinarily.
Okay, now we're going to pivot and talk mental health. During the pandemic, have you or any of your loved ones struggled with things like anxiety or depression, anything like that? And if so, how have you dealt with it?
Actually, not in my family, but someone that I know struggles with anxiety and depression. She's here from my town, and she does things that are very similar to what you are doing. She wants to help other people and educate them about this because there are many who just don't know how to deal. But she doesn't make films like you. She writes books, she gives lectures, she talks at conferences. And in this way, people start seeing and understanding that it is not unconquerable. So that's the person I know personally.
Okay. Has this pandemic affected your creative process at all? And if so, how?
Huh. Uh, Interestingly, it has actually, but somehow in a positive way. Uh, because it happened that I have had more video game projects in 2020
Oh,
than I
wow.
had in 2019. And I wondered why. And I found a lot of articles stating that being locked at home, people tend to spend more time playing online games. So from this point of view, there was a positive effect, but other than that, there were no film projects.
Okay. Uh, okay. So I unfortunately had COVID in November. It was pretty bad. I went into respiratory failure and was put on 5 liters of oxygen. I was given antibiotics, steroids, and experimental medicine. I had a week stay in the hospital and I have no lingering effects. Yet, two of my aunts died in a matter of days upon being hospitalized. You think you also had COVID? What was your experience like?
Yes, um, when I got all those symptoms typical for this virus, loss of taste and smell, respiratory difficulties, persistent high temperature, etc. I called my doctor, and she had no hesitation actually in diagnosing me with
Right.
COVID-19. Luckily, I have my wife,
Oh,
who's a real
yeah.
warrior and perfect help anytime, really. So she's also the doctor at home because she constantly reads and learns about how we should maintain our health.
Yeah.
And earlier, she had found something called, I think I told you earlier, chlorine dioxide. It turned things around very quickly, and I recommend it not only against COVID and other viruses, but by the way, against dozens of other diseases, including mental illnesses. So just you can Google chlorine dioxide and you'll find hundreds of applications for numerous issues. And although I started it, by the way, when I was about, I think, 10 days already in the illness, but it got me back on my feet very quickly. So I'm
Mm,
no doctor, of course, but I just share my experience.
yeah. Yeah.
So that what I went through, it was totally at home. I luckily didn't go to the hospitals, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was a home treatment, let's say.
Thankfully, we have both come out on the other side better for it. We have collaborated 4 times so far. I feel like each time we grow as creatives. And you plainly put a and you plainly put our freaking musical and composing genius. And you just get better and better each time out. What would you say I am as a director and but on how I was on Black Gold as opposed to Letters to Daniel in my body of work?
Well, I I think that the growth and improvement are more than obvious when you see the two films. If you if you look at it from a technical point of view, the cuts, the length of scenes, the shooting angles, every detail suggests a certain emotion, and I see that you are way better in telling the story in motion pictures, and I can see that you want to learn as I do.
Mm-hmm.
And when a person wants to learn, he or she can't help but get better and better. And I actually don't believe in luck. Everyone has that talent given by God, but it is our responsibility to how should I say, to invest in it and grow it. And I believe this is you, someone who's responsible and who is continuously investing in her talent, and it is seen on the screen.
Okay. Letters to Daniel, the motion picture, has netted you a Best Score award at Imaginarium. AOF Megafest and Hollywood Dreams nominations have yet to be announced. What is your hope there?
Okay, well, my hope is it is that I win, of course. But even
That's
well,
true. That's the truth. That's the truth. That's okay. That's what this show is all about. Tell the truth. I want to win too.
yeah. But I think that even if I don't, a nomination is not bad at all. So if it's not a win,
Especially there because there are so many films.
yeah, yeah.
But like
And
I said, you're good. You're better.
yeah.
You're more than good. You're like a genius.
But even if it's not a win, I just close this page, turn the next one, and on the next page is your project is there, Dell's project is there, another full feature is going to be produced in 2021. So I hope they call me. So okay, winning is maybe not the most important thing, but it seems to be
nice
important part of creators' world. Every creator wants to be
validated.
Valued.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Finally, let's have a little fun. If your life were a movie, what would the title be?
Can I make up a title? Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it could be From Bulgaria with Love.
That's great. Okay, so if you could cast anyone in the known cinematic universe to play you in this movie, who would it be?
Ooh, I really can't imagine someone playing me. It's easy for you because you've already done it. but maybe someone like Tom Hanks or Christian Bale.
Okay. Let's see. Where are we? Okay. Who are some of your composing heroes, and what would you say if you can meet them?
Okay, that's a good one. Some of my composing heroes, unfortunately, are not among us, like Leonard Bernstein, James Horner, Ennio Morricone, the Italian composer, Jerry Goldsmith. But for those that are still among us, like John Williams or Alan Silvestri, Hans Zimmer, or Danny Elfman, if I had the chance, maybe the first thing I would ask is to let me spend a week in their studio and just watch their workflow, how they do things behind their shoulder.
Yeah.
And how they create.
Yeah, it broke my heart when James Horner died. He was so young. And I was like, oh my God, he did so many of my favorite movie scores. Mm-hmm. And you don't, what you seem to know, and it's whether or not it's a long piece or a short piece, is that the music is very important to the film. If you do it right, it's another character, it's another layer. Absolutely. And people will go out, and the music is beautiful enough, and buy the score. Mm-hmm. So hopefully you have it on SoundCloud or something right now, from Letters to Daniel. And
I don't actually.
Look,
Only the main title. The
oh, that opening title is just.
Yes, the opening.
And did you see Clint's credits? How the opening credits went, and your music with that credit was
Yeah.
just like so perfect.
Yes,
Okay.
the perfect match.
Other than our film we're working on, You're the Reason, and Dell's and Michael's Breaking and Entering, what else do you have in the creative hopper?
Well, there's as I said, a faith-based film called Worthy that addresses issues like low self-esteem or suicides and things like this.
Yeah.
But the director, Bruce Snyder, he's from Cleveland. He wanted to shoot it in 2020, but certain things stopped the production, including the pandemic. And the whole cast and crew are preparing to shoot it in 2021. So this is one thing, and there are some game projects too with the game development company Winner Games that I've been working with since 2018.
Okay. And last question. What advice do you have for composers trying to break through into the mainstream and are struggling with mental illness?
Oh, well, my advice is to follow your way, maybe. So instead of asking for help, you start in giving it. And I think that you not only do not give up, but shout out loud, hey, this thing is weaker than me, this thing is weaker than you. So Jesus said giving is much better than receiving. Why is it better? Because it's like sowing. You sow your seeds and they grow and your harvest is enormous, and you have hundreds if not thousands of readers, viewers, followers who little by little start believing the same thing as you, and hopefully they become the same loud voices and they have their readers and followers. So that's why to give is better than to receive. So my advice is do the same as Amy does.
Yeah, I will say I did get help. I've been in therapy and and I have my psychiatrist and then I have my support network, friends, family. So I do get help, but you're right. Part of it is sharing your story, and reaching out, and it yeah. So John, do you have any questions?
I don't have any questions. That was just a great interview. It was cool to hear kind of both of your stories and hear some of the reactions and impact that you guys had from going to the film festivals and hearing about the different film festivals. Valyo, it's also cool that you have other projects. I'm interested in the gaming portion and working with is it video game companies that you work with, and like what types of games?
They're actually casino games.
Okay.
A small games. They don't require a very long score like music score. I mean, like in a film, but they have main topic and several supporting themes. So they are shorter in time to write.
Gotcha.
And yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we lost Amy.
Oh.
So hopefully she'll be back in a minute. She won't have to restart her whole computer.
Okay.
Yeah, so what's next for you as far as what's the timeline for all that stuff?
I think the film that Del Weston is producing, they are planning to shoot it at the end of January. So maybe February will be sort of a post-production, and it will be my time to to work on it.
Gotcha.
And the game projects are on a monthly basis. They will go maybe throughout the year. The other projects, the other project Worthy, they will start it in spring, but I don't know how long they will shoot it.
For the feature film or for the film you're working on with Dell, how long do you get once post production starts, or once you get the material in your hands? How much time do they give you to turn it around, or is it as much time as you need? Or
yes, it's different depending on. Sometimes it depends on the festival deadlines, but usually at least 3 weeks, a month, something like this. Usually a month.
okay. All right, everyone. Well, I think we're going to end it. I don't know if Amy's going to be able to come back in. I was kind of hoping that she'd be able to. You had a good Christmas over there? I see the tree in the background.
Yeah, yeah. Although a very warm Christmas. It's
Was it?
something like 15 degrees centigrade, but I don't know what's in.
We had snow.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We had a white Christmas.
It's sunny here.
Nice. Yeah, I'm jealous. What's up,
Sorry.
Amy?
You know, my internet, I'm surprised it waited to the very end to go out.
It went out a little bit early, like it's a mic issues, but then it just went out. Like you were stuck drinking your water bottle.
Yeah, that's great.
So who's up next week?
I got to touch base with him because he's very busy. He owns the Extreme Louisville football team in Louisville. He was one of the associate producers on Letters to Daniel, Haven, Harrington III. I've known him since high school, and he's a real big supporter of anything creative that I do if he is able to be.
That's awesome.
So
okay, so to be determined, but should be available.
Yeah, he's next week, and then the next week is Erin Miracle, the First Lady of AOF.
All right, right on. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in to either the live version or the replay of Recovery Unplugged Live. And Valyo, thanks for coming on. Awesome speaking with you and learning more about your work.
Thanks for having me.
Amy, good job interviewing and putting the show together and doing everything you do for this show.
Thank you. And
I hope you all have a good New Year.
Okay. Bye.
All right, bye everyone.
Bye.